Hi everyone, this is Ronnie from UK Fruitfest and from YouTube, and the topic of this video right now is, can raw vegans die of cancer, or does a raw vegan diet cure cancer? Can raw vegans get cancer? And my thoughts on this a number of years ago might have been different, but I've changed a lot over the last while. And I think the raw vegan diet is the best diet, and I think it's the diet we're meant to eat. And I think it's pretty simple to me. If you need to damage food in order to eat it, I don't understand why that's a better diet. Let's take away the word cooking. Let's use the word damage. Because if you give me your clothes, and I put it on a barbecue, put it in I don't know. Okay, it's maybe different with clothes. Put it in boiling water. Put it on fire, fry it or something. It's damaged, right? It's damaged. So why are you damaging your food? Like, that's the question. Why do we need to damage your food? And it's kind of simple from there. So we should eat raw food. Well, what do we eat? Oh, well, how about we eat the healthiest foods available to us? So it's a really simple thought process. I understand that a lot of people don't want to do it. And it's a healthy diet. And the question is it... does it stop you from getting cancer? And my answer now is no. And it certainly doesn't cure cancer in all the cases and all the whatever. What I believe we can say scientifically pretty accurately is it will reduce your chance of getting cancer. That's what we can say. Eating more fruits and vegetables, doesn't matter what cancer charity you look at, go and have a look at their information, reduces your chance of getting cancer, of basically all types of cancer. So that's what we can say safely without angering any authorities or contravening the scientific position, whatever. We're also eliminating certain carcinogens from our diet. Carcinogens from cooked food, carcinogens from red meat, carcinogens from processed meat. So these things that have been labelled as carcinogenic, we've cut out of our diet. We're eating foods that are protective against cancer. So it looks all good, right, for cancer. But over the last few years, I'm not as... There's a lot of you that are in this place, this honeymoon phase, with all this kind of information. You believe you've been lied to all your life about all this information, all this health information, diet information. That's weird. Everyone's lying to you. You're trying to find the truth, and everything's opposite to what you thought it was, and you're looking around for the truth and all that, and you're questioning everything, and all of a sudden, anything that comes out of the pharmaceutical industry, that's all bad. Medical industry, that's all bad. Scientific information, can't trust any of that. You're just going to go with your body, go with nature, go with, I understand that a lot of you are in that phase. It's just a phase, right, of appreciating this kind of information about health. What you need to really do is start to taper back towards a level of reality. And, that's an important thing. It's appreciating the fact that it's more complicated than just, let's just follow what we should naturally do or whatever. It's not as simple as that. Decisions in life about health, about how you take care of yourself, are not as simple as that. And it's not as simple as you go raw vegan, you don't get cancer. Or you get cancer, you go raw vegan, that's it. And I can't really believe that, like years ago, 100 years ago maybe, governments around the world made laws to stop people falsely advertising that they could cure cancer. It was such a problem, right, that they had to put in rules to get them to stop falsely advertising cancer cures, because they were huge scams. And there's a Cancer Act in the US, there's a Cancer Act in the UK. You can't put stuff on a website or anything publicly where you say, I can shrink tumours, you can't do that. It's not allowed, unless obviously it's kind of medically tested or whatever, or what have you. Now, some of you maybe watched like The Beautiful Truth. You've watched some of these cancer documentaries. I don't know, like I get it, and some of you watched all sorts of things of people reversing cancer and what have you. But the raw vegan diet will not stop you getting cancer, I believe. Now it will reduce your chance. I hope it reduces your chance to zero for a lot of you. But I can say this now, and it's very sad, but someone that I knew, a friend of mine, died of cancer quite recently. It was only revealed kind of recently. This was a lady who had been part of the Woodstock Fruit Festival for a number of years, had been there, and she was a really great, positive, very well loved person in her 30s, very fit, everything going for her. And I guess, I don't know if she was raw vegan or ate cooked food, I don't really know. But let's say she was mostly raw vegan. And she was diagnosed with cancer and sadly died quite recently. And it's a real shock, it's a real shame. And these kind of things can make a lot of people question this diet and question this lifestyle, and how come the diet didn't save her and whatever. And I don't know. That's the honest answer. We don't know. Apparently, it looks like someone in her family revealed that she had a gene called the BRCAA2 gene or something like that. Apparently it gives you an 85% chance of developing breast cancer. I don't know. I would still expect that people eating a raw vegan diet would still have a reduced chance of getting that. But in this scenario, whatever's happened, whatever she ate, I don't know exactly, I don't know all the story, but she got cancer. I don't know for sure, I imagine she might have decided not to go with the normal procedures of getting her breast removed or the tumours removed or whatever. Once again, I don't know the full story. My instinct is often in these situations, this is what people that are into natural health and natural healing kind of thing, they often will avoid the doctor's recommendations in these situations. Now, my position with cancer now is, if you can get it cut out, then get it cut out. If this message gets to anyone in that situation, don't have the arrogance to think that you're gonna change your diet now, that you're gonna change your lifestyle now, and fight this. I really believe people should listen to the doctors on this one. If they are saying you can get it removed and get it cut out, then that's what you should do. Every person who's a raw vegan that says that they've cured cancer, almost all of them that I've heard of got it removed. And this is where it gets a bit funny, where people say they've cured cancer. There's a guy called ChrisBeatCancer.com online. He sells a program to people to help them cure cancer, I guess. And the program is 90 days of fruits and vegetables. And I know that because another friend of mine died at the start of the year, and he had bought Chris Beat Cancer's program. Now, admittedly, he wasn't a raw vegan, he wasn't a vegan, he wasn't a vegetarian, he wasn't eating healthy, he wasn't eating a healthy version of a standard diet. He did at times try to do the fruit thing. He did stick to it at times, but overwhelmingly wasn't able to stick to it very long term. And his family didn't eat that way, his wife didn't eat that way, and so on. So, and no, not that maybe that's not even the problem either. I'm not saying that anything like this is connected with anything, but he had that Chris Beat Cancer program, 90 days raw vegan. He said to me, "Can we do this?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, you can do it, but that's what information you've been told for years. Eat raw vegan, right?" And unfortunately, he was still eating eggs. I don't know. I don't want to go into all that, but he wasn't a raw vegan, is what I'm saying. Now, his was diagnosed pretty late. But a lot of the people who have been diagnosed, but anyway, this guy Chris beat cancer. Should go back to that. He got an operation to cut out the tumour and cut out part of his colon or something like that, and then went raw vegan mostly, and he's managed to kind of keep it away. He's not had the so the idea is that they didn't take the chemotherapy and the stuff that you do after you have the the tumour removed. So he didn't do any of that. He just went raw vegan. And I don't know if he really believes that you can just go raw vegan, like he didn't have to get it cut out. I don't know. My brother's a doctor. I mentioned this to him, and or was it my brother? Maybe it was someone. I mentioned this to him, and he said, "Yeah, that's why he's still alive, because he got it cut out, you know." And a lot of you watching this are going to disagree with me just out of pure, I don't know. You want to believe that a raw vegan diet can cure cancer. I'm not saying it can't in any situation. I certainly think it can help people before it's developed and before it's really, really developed. I think it can reverse the initial stages. I like to think that. Dr. Gregor's got a video about a study on esophageal cancer, on pre-cancerous lesions of esophageal cancer, which you can check out. People took strawberries and it helped, and it reversed their lesions that lead to cancer usually. So that was pretty amazing. So I think more research is going to come out and say amazing stuff like that. But the people that have said that they've cured cancer with raw vegan, almost all of them got the cancer removed, got the tumour removed. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people that say they healed from cannabis oil and vitamin B17 and apricot kernels and all these things that people say help reverse cancer. I wouldn't be surprised if all of them had the tumour removed, and then they're saying they got rid of the cancer. Herbert Shelton, a friend of mine who's been in the raw vegan movement a long time, he said Herbert Shelton, who was the pioneer of natural hygiene. If you don't know who he is, you can look him up. He fasted more people than probably anyone in history, Herbert Shelton. And Herbert Shelton has supposedly said, I've not been able to verify when he said this or where, he never saw a reversal of cancer from fasting or from a raw vegan diet. He never saw a reversal of cancer from fasting or a raw vegan diet unless it was misdiagnosis. He believed that the people that did reverse it, they didn't really have cancer. They'd been told it was cancer, but it wasn't diagnosed properly. Maybe it was just suspected to be cancer. I don't know the full story. But that was his claim. And my friend has always been saying to me that he's always asked people. He's asked Doug Graham, he's asked different people, have you seen people reverse cancer? And some of these people say they have, but the information or the proof isn't really out there all that well. So cancer is a real killer. Do what you can to reduce it, but we're in the real world. And I know that like Don Bennett was talking about cancer is an unnatural disease and we need to use unnatural methods to kind of get rid of it, which is quite wise, but I'm not convinced that cancer is unnatural. Like, I'm not convinced that it doesn't happen in nature. I'm not convinced that it doesn't happen to animals in the wild. I might be completely wrong about that, but I'm not convinced that that's not right. But be that as it may, I don't want anyone to be going around telling people you just need to go raw vegan and you'll get rid of your cancer. Now, you should go raw vegan regardless, right? And it might give you the best opportunity. But Steve Jobs, he got cancer, he went raw vegan, didn't help. It's not going to help if you've got a tumour that's been growing for 20 or 30 years or whatever. And he avoided getting it cut out. And this is what I'm saying. This is where we need to be intelligent about our choices. It's not like, oh, the doctor said this, I'm not going to believe them because they're doctors. We need to be intelligent about each choice. If you've got heart disease, if you've got diabetes, if you've got various things, yes, can be reversed in a raw vegan diet, basically. we know that pretty clearly. But cancer, we cannot say that. It's not as successful, not anywhere near as successful. And and this is an example of someone who basically was raw vegan getting cancer. Now, does that mean all raw vegans get cancer? Some of you are going to say, oh, it was because of the fruit and the sugar that made them get cancer. Well, no, we obviously don't see that correlation happen very often. The cancer has grown dramatically in the world, and it certainly isn't because people are eating raw vegan. The reduction of fruits and vegetables in the diet is more likely to be a contributor, and all cancer charities say we should eat more fruits and vegetables to reduce our risk of getting cancer. The foods that include carcinogenic stuff, red meat, probably carcinogenic. That's the World Health Organization. Once again, a lot of you are going to say that's a conspiracy, that's not true, whatever. But that's the World Health Organization. Go and find your own more reputable source if you like for that, but I don't think you'll find it. You might find a blog or some fitness trainer online, but you're not going to find a bigger organization than that. Processed meat, carcinogenic. So if you're eating processed meat or red meat, you're eating carcinogenic food. If you're eating food that's cooked in general, but anything that's browned, like brown toasted bread, stuff like that, baked potatoes, this is roasted potatoes, all of that is to some extent carcinogenic, right? So limit your risk. It's a terrible thing. It's an absolute killer. And it seems like when it gets hold of some people, like, they can't do anything about it. It doesn't matter what they do. And the best thing that we've got is probably the medical route, getting it removed. It might reduce the happiness of the rest of your life in some ways, or the potential of the rest of your life, especially if you get an organ removed, or get a testicle removed, or get a lung removed, or whatever. But to stay alive, which is the main thing, is going to be, sometimes it's going to take that. So that's the conclusion of the video. Very sad that this person passed. Still don't know everything about it. Really wish that the raw vegan diet was enough. But I also wish and hope that we don't keep on proliferating this idea that we're going to cure cancer, that everyone's going to cure it. And I'm not saying that some people won't, right? But that guy, Chris Beat Cancer, said, hey, you've got time. This is what he said in his program. You've got time. You've been diagnosed with cancer. You've got time. You know, go raw and all. You don't have time. That's a complete, you know, maybe not all the time, but you don't always have time. And you know, this is the advice I would give to family member or someone, like, no one's going to listen to me anyway, really, in my family, but get it cut out, get it removed, you know. There's a few things like prostate cancer, there's a few things like that it's like, you probably shouldn't bother because it's not really going to kill you. like a lot of old men have prostate cancer, but getting your prostate removed is quite harmful for a man in some ways, and it's probably not really worth it because you're probably so old by that point that you're likely to die of other things. So there is things like that. It's not, you know, it's not a black and white issue is what I'm saying, but certain things, maybe like breast cancer and you know, I don't know, like, it's not my area of expertise. I just don't want to hear about more people dying because they don't take the doctor's advice that would have saved them. Like, oh, I'm not going to take those antibiotics. I'm not going to take those anti-malaria pills. I think I'll dry fast. I'm not going to do this. I'll take urine and I'll dry fast. And I'll absolutely destroy my body's immune system. Like, it's so silly to me. That it's not silly, it's absolutely natural, right? I don't mean silly. It's natural because people have had bad experience with doctors, right? But that doesn't mean everything they say is wrong. And I don't know. I'm just, what am I really saying? Just, just take care. Just don't believe in all this ideas that you're just going to reverse cancer with, you know, taking. Some people think they'll take sugar out of their diet and they'll get rid of the cancer. It's just, it won't happen, right? So that's a bit of a negative video. Let me know your thoughts below. Thanks for watching. You know, and I'm sad about this and everything. But there's too many stories of not necessarily related to cancer, but people who didn't take the doctor's advice or whatever because of fear, because they have all these negative ideas about doctors, about pharmaceuticals, and it's led to some bad scenarios for people. So take care of yourself, and you know, if you want more information about this lifestyle, keep on watching this channel. We'll share more information, and anything you'd like me to make a video on, comment below. Feel free to debate below, add your ideas and opinions, and I'll jump into that debate as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in another video.